Installation of a cable for the light outlet from the existing switch controlling the receptacle. Turn off the breaker for this circuit. Make sure the power is turned off. Unscrew the switch. This is a metal junction box with 214 AWG, American wire gauge, BX, armored cables. This metal junction box is slightly smaller to meet the NEC, National Electrical Code, requirements for calculating box fill, but can still practically accommodate 114.2 cable. The best option is to replace this junction box with a larger one. To avoid major additional wall damage when working on add-on projects, the cable powering the new light outlet will be routed from this junction box, which is very common during such work where such a decision does not create very critical and dangerous problems later. In my opinion, if this connection is made correctly, it will pose no more hazards than a connection made in an appropriately sized junction box, but all regulations must always be followed. This junction box will not accommodate any dimmer, only a standard switch. The decision to add cable or replace the junction box is yours. Existing junction box details. 14. 3BX cable to the receptacle controlled by this switch. 14. 2BX cable from the power source. The neutral, white, wires of both cables are connected together. The hot, black, wire from the cable from the power source is connected to the hot, red, wire from the cable to the controlled receptacle, which provide constant power to one of the plug receptacle of the duplex receptacle and with the pigtail to the switch. The hot, black, wire from the cable to the controlled receptacle is connected to the second hot terminal of the switch. Ground screw holes. Cable knockouts. Cable clamp screw hole. Ground screw. Cable clamp for NM, non-metallic sheathed cable. Flexible metal cable fishing snake for pulling cables behind the wall. Hooks on the ends of a flexible metal cable fishing snake. Open the cable knockout. Drill a hole in the wall framing plate above the switch, not smaller than 1/2 inch. Insert the flexible metal cable fishing snake into the hole with the hook facing the switch junction box. Insert the cable fishing snake with the hook pointing upwards through the open knockout and grab the cable fishing snake that is behind the wall. Flexible metal cable fishing snakes caught each other. Pull down the caught cable fishing snake through the open knockout in the junction box. The junction box contains 14 gauge wires, so 14.2 nm cable will be installed. Attach the cable to the cable fishing snake. Pull the cable fishing snake with the attached cable into the attic. The cable must be long enough to reach the light outlet. Secure the cable in the junction box with the NM cable clamp. Remove the cable sheath. Two NM cable wires. White, neutral wire. Bare, ground wire. Black, hot wire. Single pole switch, front view. Single pole switch, rear view. Ground terminal, green screw. Hot terminals, gold screws. Wire nuts. Wire nuts for splicing the ground wire. Attach the ground wire wrapped around the ground screw to the junction box. Disconnect the switch. Splice the red and black wires from the existing cables together by adding a black pigtail wire. Splice the neutral, white wire from the cable to the light outlet to the existing neutral, white wires. Insert the spliced wires into the junction box, leaving the pigtail wire outside the junction box. Cut the remaining wires and pigtail to no less than 6 inches from the bottom of the junction box. Strip the ends of the wires about 1/2 inch, and make a loop at the end of the ground wire. Connect the switch as follows. Ground, bare, wire from the junction box to the ground terminal, green screw, of the switch. Hot, black, wires from the junction box to the hot terminals, gold screws, of the switch in any order. Secure the switch to the junction box. Install the switch wall plate,